Anthony Joshua marks his return to the boxing ring after his 2 defeats against Usyk. AJ's opponent is Jermaine Franklin, who is currently 21-1 after a close decision loss to Dillian Whyte. Many fans believed that Jermaine did enough to win or at least draw with Whyte, but regardless, he's now preparing to upset Anthony Joshua. AJ is trying to rebuild his boxing career after having 2 losses in a row, and he's facing off against a guy who's ranked 30 in the world. I figured he would fight a guy in the top 15 at least, but there's a couple of reasons why I don't mind this choice of opponents. For one thing, AJ has suffered back-to-back defeats, and I think it's a wise idea to gain the confidence back. This isn't like Tyson Fury, who beat up Tom Schwartz after he drew with Wilder. Fury didn't need to have tune-up fights, especially when he touts that he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. In AJ's, and I think even Wilder's case, after his 2 defeats to Fury, they need to have a bit of a career reset, and picking boxers out of the top 30 to fight is a good way to go about it. Jermaine has actually gone up against a credible name in Dillian Whyte and took him to a decision. However, I'm confident that AJ, especially with his new training team, will get the job done and they'll move on to the Dillian Whyte rematch in the middle of the year. After the AJ Usyk fight, I think there's been too much slander, for lack of a better term, about AJ's boxing ability. Like I said in a previous video, some fans are analyzing Anthony Joshua's career like a fucking postmortem. Just because he lost against Usyk, who mind you has a very decent shot at beating Tyson Fury, doesn't mean he's washed. I mean, AJ is still one of the greatest heavyweights of this generation, but boxing fans consider him washed, and it's baffling how fickle they are. This is why people gravitate towards MMA, where the losses don't matter nearly as much, and they don't instantly consider a fighter dog shit when he's defeated by the top guy in their division. Is AJ versus Jermaine Franklin the fight I would make for AJ's comeback? It's not my ideal fight, but at the same time, it is a solid building block to reinvent AJ's image and boxing career. Jermaine Franklin appears to be a good volume puncher and is probably hungry to get a win over a big name like AJ, especially after the close decision with Dillian Whyte. Now that the dust has settled with the choice of opponent, I'm actually looking forward to seeing how AJ improves and if Jermaine Franklin can rise to the occasion. Plus, DAZN is not doing a pay-per-view event for this fight card. Thank fucking god. I know that AJ is a global superstar, but this isn't the fight they should put an additional price tag on, so I'm glad that DAZN and Matchroom had restraint there. If AJ fights Tyson Fury, I don't really mind if it's a pay-per-view considering the magnitude of the event, but for AJ's comeback fight, that's a different can of worms, and it's best left to be bundled in with the DAZN subscription. Tell me what you think about AJ's return, and who should he fight next if he beats Jermaine Franklin in April. Let me know and I'll see you later.